around, make sure we got everything rolling. We are live. What is up, everybody? So as you can see, the picture is not great. I apologize for this on this camera. This was on New Year's, so let me just get this pulled up. I got the iPad going as well. I just want to be able to keep up with you guys here. Let's see, I thought I had it open. Here we go. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. Here we go. I'm just trying to get the iPad pulled up. You can see the picture is not great on this camera, so I'm going to flip it around here. We're going to be doing some floor work up behind me. So I apologize for the glare. Let me see if I can get the glare off at least a little. It's going to go away. Just give me just a second, guys. As you can see, I got the iPad up here, so I'm trying to stay rolling with you guys as well. Thank you for joining us, as usual. All right, so it looks like everything is going the way it should be going. We do have the Starlink internet, guys. I just want to put that out there, just as usual. I'm over in the corner, actually, of the shop house, barn dough, whatever you want to call it. So we are as far away from that router as you can get. And I was just running some speed tests minutes ago before we started this on multiple like websites, and we were getting crazy fast download speeds. It was like 160 it peaked at for a download speed, and the upload, it was like 20 something for an upload. So the internet should be decent. Oh, we got Bob in the house. Thank you for joining us, Bob. What is up, dude? I'm just telling everybody we are out here in the loft. But yeah, about the Starlink, if it dips out, I will get right back on it as fast as I can. And I appreciate it. I appreciate your guys' sticking with it and riding it out with us. So I'm actually standing up here. I'll flip this around. My idea was to set up the iPad so I could see it. And let me flip this camera around. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right, so we'll go like this. And then we'll flip you guys around and try to give you a little view here. Yeah, that's a much better view. Okay. So we should be able to get this set up, and give me just 1 second here. We do have this handy dandy tripod, and that's going to be, we're going to mention that here in the video. Okay. So that's rolling. Hopefully you guys can hear me. It looks like the camera is just a hair crooked. We'll straighten that out a little bit. And let me know in the comments if you can hear me, because for some reason, I feel like the microphone doesn't work as well. If you're recording a regular video, it works fine if you're using the front camera like this. But for some reason on YouTube, last time we did this and we used the front-facing camera, I think I remember people saying they couldn't hear me. So let me know if you can hear me. I hope you can hear me just fine. I'll pull this thing up. I'll try to read through this real quick. Oh yeah, it looks like this video is keeping up. Yeah, so yeah, I can barely hear you. That's what I thought. Let me get back over to this side. So that's what we're working with. Once I'm back over here and we flip it, you guys can probably hear me a lot better. You probably couldn't hear anything I was saying back there. So we do have a microphone on order. I was on Amazon yesterday morning. I ordered a microphone, one of those little clip microphones, so you guys are going to be able to hear me when we're doing all this. Man, that really sucks. So let me I don't know how I'm gonna do this, guys, because this front-facing camera, it's all messed up. This happened on New Year's, so if you guys can see, there's a lot of glare on this front camera, and what happened is there's a huge crack. It's like I dropped it on a piece of gravel or something. Big old crack right there. I don't know what I did, but it cracked throughout the whole screen, and it cracked right through the little camera there. So that's what we got going on with this one here, and obviously the microphone is working a lot better on the front-facing camera. It's weird, guys. Like I'm saying, if I shoot a regular video with the front-facing camera, the microphone picks up all the sound. It picks it up great. I actually have a dehumidifier running down here, and even when I was just testing it, you could hear it just sitting here. You could hear everything. But for some reason, when you do the YouTube live streams, it must be something within it. They don't allow that microphone to switch, or I don't know if there's two microphones in this camera. I would imagine there probably is. but I don't know what's going on here. So I'm just trying to scheme in my head here, guys, how I can do this and give you guys a good view. I appreciate everybody stopping in. It looks like we got a few people that have popped in. We got Bob. Bob's in the house. Chevelle is in the house. What's up, Chevelle? Thank you for joining us. Who else is in here? Kajel, Teresa, and Sinbad. What is up, everybody? Thank you guys for joining us. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this scene. It really depends on where I stand, and it's, you know, not even close to a window. The light is just going everywhere when it hits this shatter here. So I don't know if I can flip this around. Let me try to turn this camera completely away from the light. See, but there's a window back there too. Yep. All right, let's see here. Bob saying do my best. I appreciate it, Bob. That's what we always try for. Let's see, I gotta loosen up this camera stand. I wasn't planning on this, guys. I had all this set up, ready to roll, and the thought crossed my mind. That's why I was testing the front-facing camera with the video. Yeah, see, when I walk away, I'm gonna try to find a decent spot here to see if I can get rid of some of this glare for you guys, because this is no bueno. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a better picture for you guys. It's really bright. There's a lot of glare going on. I want to be working. Oh, pretty much right in that sun there. Let's see, that's actually not too bad. All right, guys. So we'll play this the best we can. So what we're... Of course it cuts out. It just seems to be how this one's going. I do appreciate the input that I got from you guys on that little poll that I just put out. I really appreciate that. So we'll probably be rolling back these live streams just a little bit and try to space them out a little farther, break them up. All right, so let's see here. So that is a terrible glare on the sides there. All right, so what we got going on is we have all this blocking in here, and it's all double nailed from the bottom side. We did 2 rows of blocking on this. This is all going to be in a video, guys. There's going to be a video coming out in the morning. Some of you guys may have seen it already. If you're on our Patreon, you've already watched the video probably, so thank you for supporting us in that way. We actually got a sweet camera stand, so thank you guys. But this is all in the video as well. The blocking is 2 rows of blocking. It is spaced about 5 feet apart. Not exactly 5 feet, about 5 feet. And it's all double nailed from the bottom that I've just used the nail gun, the framing nailer for. And I'm just using these framing nails, and these are just the regular 3-inch framing nails that I had from framing this whole building up. Man, that is terrible. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying here. Let's see. All right, 2 for RVs in the house. Thanks for joining us. So these are just the framing nails, and I need to go through and nail it all from the top side because I haven't done that yet. It's all double nailed from the bottom, so I'm going to go through, straighten up all these blocks. They're just a hair teeter either way, so I should be able to kind of pull them a little bit, straighten them up, put 2 nails in each one from the top side as well, and then that'll be secure. We do not have all the blocking in yet, so we're not going to quite get there, but I want to get this secure, and I want to get a couple sheets of plywood down and see if we can run through this here in the next hour or so. I think we can, as long as the equipment wants to function. Actually, you know, after seeing how bad this is, I'm going to call and see if I can get this screen replaced. I think that's a good idea. But let's get rolling on this here. I'll set this up the best I can. And again, I apologize, guys. We're going to tilt this down and see. All right, so that's not too bad. Let's see what happens when I walk away here. Yeah, it picks up a decent one. All right, so like I said, I apologize, guys, but that appears to be the best it's going to be at this point. Let me get this framing nailer, and we'll blast a couple in here, then I'll stop back in with you guys and hang out for a second. Then we're going to try to figure out how to tip up one of these sheets of plywood and get some glue under it by myself. So we'll see. Let's see what we got. We're using the rigid framing nailer. As a few of you guys know, I went through a few nailers, or just one, well, kind of 1.5 nailers in the beginning. This one's held up pretty good so far. This is a nice nail gun. This is a really nice nail gun. I'm now noticing, here, I'm gonna try to move my airline. It is like right on top of the tripod here. Let's see if I can hand this thing under it. This is always fun. Alright guys, so we got that. Move this out. So let's blast a couple nails in here. Oh man, this is a mess, guys. Everything. Knocking stuff over. Jeez. So I got a few nailed. Here we go. And all I'm doing, guys, is putting 2 nails right next to each other on each set of blocking. There's the compressor, I figured. So we'll try to play this up. And hopefully that compressor isn't too loud for you guys, but it kind of is the nature of the beast when it comes to something like this. Hopefully if I keep talking, the microphone will start picking up my voice and hopefully muffle it a little bit. Let me get this out of the way so I don't kick the iPad over again. That was sweet. Alright, there we go. Thank you everybody for joining us. Looks like we got a few people in here. We got 31 people, 18 likes. If you haven't already, please hit that like button down below. I don't know what it does. I've heard it helps support me. That's why I keep saying it, because hopefully like it hits the YouTube algorithm. I don't know. But hit that like button. I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for joining us. We are trying to get some nails here. Let me blast a few more nails in with this compressor shut off. This is tight quarters is what I was saying down in this blocking. I did all these joists on 1-foot centers. So with this big framing nailer, it's not super ideal, but you can get it in there. Where are we here? Right there. Yeah, you gotta get one like right on the top. Ooh, that was close. I don't know. You guys see that board slip? That was sweet. Oh yeah, that was loose. Perfect. Alright guys, so we got that going on. How bad is that? That's not too bad. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We got a big giant glare right in my face. It looks like, see if we can turn it over here somehow. Man, it glares everywhere. I need to get this screen fixed, guys. I apologize. Like I was telling you earlier, for those of you just popping in, on New Year's, somehow I shattered my screen literally right at my camera. If it would have happened anywhere else, it would have been fine. But I have about 5 big spiderweb cracks going right through this camera, so that's why all the glare is there. And apparently when I flip it around, you guys can't hear me with the front facing camera, so I don't know why that is, but we're working with what we got here. I said I was going to do a live stream. I want to show you guys me trying to put this floor up by myself. So we got this blocking nailed up here. We've rolled it out. Oh, let me blast a few more. I don't want to make you guys listen to the compressor again, though, for a little bit. I feel like that'd be pretty annoying. So I think we're going to change gears here. And thank you, Chris, for joining us. What's up? Yeah, the screen, right? It's one of those, like, Snapchat filters or something like that. Let's try to switch gears. I think if I can get this out of the light 100%, or at least better than what it is, it's gonna work a lot better. So I appreciate you guys. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to redo everything I did. I have this camera stand jacked up as high as it'll go. You can't hardly even see it there, but I lifted it up as high as it would go. I thought this is gonna be the bee's knees. I'll have a sweet little live stream, and the camera will be all set up, and I'll use the front-facing camera. Thank you, Chevelle. Thank you for the words of encouragement. Appreciate it. Oh, the Bahamas. Brenda is in the house. What is up, Brenda? All right, Chevelle's right. Quit worrying about it and just do it. Here we go. So I'm gonna try to get this over as close to the wall for you guys here. And this is gonna be the best I think it's gonna do. It's all the windows. There's too much light. We put too many windows in. I'm just kidding. In my opinion, you could never have too many windows. Man, that is terrible. There we go. That's absolutely blinding. Okay. Perfect. Just keep my ugly mug out of there and it'll work fine. Fine enough. Like I said, we'll be dialing back the live streams for sure. And I appreciate all your guys' input on that as well. And of course, right where I just moved my airline is now where the camera is currently hanging out, and the airline's all jammed up. But that's just fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to lift up this sheet of plywood and put some glue under it. I'm hoping, really hoping I can lift it up, lean it against the wall, put some glue on all these joists, and nail it back down. Let's see here, I got my glue gun right up here with some extra glue. Let's see what we got. Oh man, I forgot to put a nail in this last time. I doubt I can break through this. Let me see, maybe I can. I can wipe it in there. Oh yeah. Huh, that's crazy. I feel like I shouldn't be able to break through that. That's been sitting for a couple days since I last glued the beam at least. All right, so that'll work. There's a little trick that a lot of people don't know. Whenever you're done using one of these, just click the back of this thing and it makes it stop leaking a hell of a lot less. Alright, so this will be my workstation. I'm going to try to swing this guy up here. Man, I should have, at one point I had a single screw up here. Look at that. Perfect. All right, we're gonna redo this, guys. There's the first stroke of luck we had. I had one screw in my pocket, my screw gun up here with the right bit in it even. Perfect. Now just don't drop the screw. See if we can't get this done up here. Okay, we got a screw in that. That's not gonna fall over. That looks pretty decent, so you guys can see pretty well how it looks here. Those are just the floor joists. I'm trying to turn this just a little, see if it helps. Those are the floor joists, and we are going to put some of this, I'll show you guys here. This is subfloor and decking adhesive. Interesting instructions. I'm not going to go through them, but it basically says like you don't really need to nail it, and I'm going to nail the shit out of it. Okay, see how this goes. Nail and glue the shit out of it. Oh, this button is hard to push on this one. This is where it gets a little hairy, guys, is when you got to start walking out on these guys. I'm not super comfortable with it. I know some people are, but I'm not. Oh man, that one is super hard to push. Once you get some pressure on it. Alright, here. Oh man, I really don't like that, guys. Not one bit. Guys and gals, I guess I shouldn't be saying guys the whole time. I don't know if you guys can see the dogs through the floor joists. Probably not. The dogs are right underneath me, wrestling. What they do best. Yeah, it's much. I don't mind it if there's a handhold. It's not bad. One more in this corner and finish up the middle. All right, so we're in here. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. If you're just popping in, I see we got a few more people, so I just want to say hey. Putting down, oh, see, I didn't do my trick. This one's a pain. We're putting down some subfloor glue for our joist here. Give me just another minute and a half. I got 2 more joists to glue, and then we'll pop in and hang out with you guys, answer any questions if anybody's got any. But let me get this glue on this and just flop this thing down so this glue doesn't do its glue thing. Oh, now I got glue on all these joists. Glue going everywhere. All right, guys, so and then we pop that. So now that all the glue is on there, I'm gonna flop this thing down and get it tucked up into the corner, and everything seems to still be rolling. Just hopefully. Is that still going on there? Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. So I just got one single screw that I just sank in. Uh-oh, the dogs, I can see they're pulling my air line and my extension cord. Hey, dogs, do not. You are going to pull that camera right off. Stop. Just slow down. All right, so we'll flop this guy down. That's on. Give her a push into the corner. All the way in over there. We'll get this over here. Alright, man, I should have cut this. Son of a bitch. Oh yeah, and that's not even. Yeah, I need to cut that. That sucks. One more out. Rip the whole thing. Alright guys, so there you have it, kind of. That is one piece that's down and glued. Let me just drop a few nails into there just to secure it right where it is. I think I'm happy with it. Pretty sure. We'll take a closer look here. Got to be careful with all my lines and my cords. Okay. I think it looks good. Out of nails. Ooh, that one missed. Alright, so that one is in. What is up, Dale? Dale's in the house, guys. Let me see if I can get a decent view here. There's not bad glare. We'll hang out with you guys here. I gotta lift the camera up here. Give me 1 second. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. Hopefully that compressor isn't too loud. It'll kick off here. Just give me just 1 second. I am lifting up the camera stand. Got that off here. Bob's here. Bob's in. Are we going to have an outside entrance to your upstairs living quarters? We didn't frame anything, Bob, to answer that question quickly. We didn't frame anything. That doesn't mean we can't make something. I don't love the idea of only having the one set of stairs as an entrance and an exit. Mostly in case of like an emergency, in case of a fire. We do have, most of these windows are sliders. All of these windows are sliders. So you can get out of them pretty easily, and they're all pretty big. But I don't love the idea of not having another set of stairs to run down. So I haven't totally thought about doing another external set of stairs. I've tried to scheme an internal set of stairs, and I haven't come up with a great solution yet. My best idea so far is maybe a fire pole, if that is practical, but I don't know. I'm not sure. And there we go. It looks like it's a little straighter. Cool. Then I'll get this iPad and see how bad the picture really gets once you put my ugly face in it. There we go. Oh man, there's just glares everywhere. Okay, cool. So that's like the best it is. If I stay in like this little quadrant right there. So that's what we got going on. All right, cool. Wow, we got a lot of people in here. Thank you everybody for joining us. There's 94 people in here right now. I appreciate it. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like button down below. I'm pretty sure it helps me. I don't know. I think it like helps the algorithm. That's what I've been told, so that's why I say it all the time. So thank you if you already have. So we got, oh wow, look, Chris, Sue, Greg, Simbad, Jim. Wow. Jim says he's not gonna walk on the joist. He can't even walk on a flat floor. Oh, that's pretty funny. Oh man, that's awesome. There's so many people in here. Thank you guys for joining us. This is cool. I hope everybody is having a good Thursday. It looks like we got about 97 people in here at the moment. That's pretty rad. I did a little poll on our Instagram, or excuse me, the YouTube community feed. And it seemed like there was like half the people that were like, yeah, live stream, but maybe not so much. And the other half were like, no, don't live stream at all. So we will definitely roll back the live streams just a little bit. I thought it was kind of going to be a cool thing, and maybe it will be once we're a little more set up. I need a microphone. I need to be able to walk away and still be able to talk to you guys and communicate with you guys, you know, remotely, and still having a camera connection. Couldn't think of the word camera. Oh, it looks like we got Veneer in here. Nice, thank you. Have a good night to you as well. He's from Norway. That is cool. There's people all over the world that are tuning into this, guys. So like, I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are doing something similar. Obviously, if you are interested in watching our channel, you are probably have done or doing something similar. Oh yeah, nice. Armida's in the house. Armida says do voiceovers. Yeah, I should do some voiceovers, and Liz and I are trying to move into that a little bit more on the edited videos. But with the live streams, it's hard. I can't do a voiceover over the live stream. So hopefully with that microphone, and once I get this camera fixed, it'll work out well. But anyway, we got the floor joists up here. Oh, I was talking about the live streams, so we'll roll those back a little bit and maybe do them every other week, every couple weeks or so, something like that. Like pop this thing open, just make sure everything's still working here. I can't trust this camera. For the last probably 10 minutes, it's had the circle saying it's loading, but I'm pretty sure it's still streaming. Yeah, I don't know if it's an iPhone thing. Oh, and we got Eddie in the house. Thank you for joining us, Eddie. Eddie is from the Netherlands. I've never been to the Netherlands. To be honest, I probably couldn't even point out the Netherlands on a map unless it said Netherlands. I think it's somewhere over by Switzerland. That would be my guess. I don't know, to be honest. What I do know and have been learning is how to build a house. Denmark, Bettina. Is that what that says? Yeah, Bettina is in the house from Denmark. That is so crazy. I appreciate you guys joining. I don't know if you can hear the dogs. The dogs are underneath me doing their little whiny. They're jealous. The dogs can't get up on top of my loft yet, our loft yet. We just have a ladder. June tried to run up the ladder yesterday, and there's a sheet of plywood on it. In her fairness, wasn't much traction. Eddie, okay, right on, cool. So I vaguely can picture it. But June didn't have much traction on the sheet of plywood. All right, it looks like we are back, guys. I appreciate the fallout. It's a Starlink. It seems like it does pretty well. I actually moved the router before we did all this. I'm really trying to scheme, you know, this whole YouTube thing, and really trying to make it almost a production. So I moved the router, and I got better service over here. Oh, we got people in the house. Johan from South Africa. Look at that. Thank you so much, man, for joining us. I appreciate it. But I was saying I moved the router to try to get the Starlink service better. And it seems to be better, guys, to be honest. We are almost as far away as possible from the router right now, and kind of from everything. And we're doing this wirelessly. This is all over Wi-Fi. And it's working pretty decent. It's dropped out. I think that's twice now I've had to reconnect. And I believe it's quick. On my end, at least, it only drops out for probably 20 seconds at the most. Sometimes it's quicker. And that loading bar actually went away after it dropped out again and came back. So seems to be working out okay. Like I said, I was doing some tests over here, and we had crazy fast speeds, guys. I've never had internet this fast in my life. Don't get me wrong, I've had good internet. I have lived in a bigger city. As you guys know, we live in Idaho. Sandpoint is the closest city. There's yet another bigger city, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, if anybody wants to look at it on a map. They have real good internet there. I lived there for a bit. Fast internet, but not even this fast. We were getting like maybe 50 or 60 megs a second. and this put a 1 in front of that 150 or 160, and that was the test that I did. Oh, at this point, that was probably 40 minutes ago, sitting here in the corner. That was for a download speed of, and I'm no lie, I think it was 168 is what it peaked at. I did a few tests, a few different websites. For an upload speed, it peaked, I think it was 23 is what it peaked at for an upload speed. So it's really, really, really good internet as long as it stays up. And I don't know why it goes down, but when it does go down, it's just for blips. It's very short blips. I don't know why. I don't really mind it, to be honest. The only time when it really, really affects it is during these live streams. Other than that, you really don't notice it. So for us, in the situation that we're in right now, this is, in our opinion, the only internet that was even feasible. We're going to pay the same monthly charge for Starlink. It's $100 a month. Anybody can look that up. It's $100 a month for the Starlink service after you buy all their equipment. For that same $100 a month, we could have got the local internet, and they said that at best is we're gonna have 10 megs a second, and I didn't even ask what the upload speed would have been, because we obviously need internet to try to do what we're doing. So we needed good internet. So this really was the only internet option we had. It came up. I think I kind of, in my mind, signed up for it, not as a joke, but I thought, like, yeah, you know, that they'll never have it. I'll never have Starlink, I guess. And we were one of the first people to get it somehow. I think it's because we have, at our house, we have no cell service, so we use the Wi-Fi calling to access all of our calls. It looks like Enique. I don't know how to pronounce that. Enique. He is from Holland, or she is from Holland. Thank you for joining us. Big shout out to everybody joining us. But yeah, this was the only option, really. And it's because we have no cell service. We have no cell service right here. I would imagine there's a phone line. There is no overhead lines close to us. I don't know if there's any buried phone lines. I don't know how phone lines really work. But yeah, we don't have much service, and that was the only internet option, was to get, obviously not, there's other satellite providers, but it's quite the same thing, where it's real high prices, and their delivery and product isn't even comparable, really. So it's working out great for us. Anybody that is on the fence about trying to sign up, or has signed up and is still waiting, right on, do it. It's good. It's good stuff. It's well worth it, I believe. As long as the longevity is there, I think it'll be great. Longevity meaning he doesn't put any, data caps on it. That's kind of where the satellite internet has its downfall, is a lot of them do have data caps. So as long as it keeps rolling the way it is, I believe we're still in the beta testing. So I don't know, like, their time frame for that. But yeah, it's great internet. Real great internet. Let's get back to the homestead. What are we doing? We got this floor up. As you guys can see, I got lots of plywood laid out behind me. Patrick in the house from Sweden. What is up, guys? So there's all that plywood behind me. Who else? We got T-Wolf from whole UK. Oh man, I'm sweating. It's hot up here. So all this plywood, I think this is 15 sheets total is what I counted last night. I believe, if I have mathed good, if I've done my math correctly, I think it's going to take about 27 sheets. I think it's going to take about 27 sheets. So that'll be sweet. We have plenty of plywood. We pre-purchased all this plywood. And that, if you guys that are not in the United States, I don't know what it was like for you guys this past summer, but for us, at least, in the United States, rolling into, I would say, mid-spring, late spring, early summer, lumber prices went through the roof, skyrocketed. So for comparison, I don't even know how long ago that was, probably a year and a half ago, you could go to pretty much any of the lumber outfits and get a sheet of this plywood. This is 3/4 OSB. Oh, you probably couldn't get the tongue and groove. This is a little more expensive, but you could get a sheet of plywood for $8. $8. That same sheet of plywood turned into $27 in a matter of, I don't know, 8 months, 10 months. Like, it just progressively grew, and it has gone down, but that 27 has now gone down to 24. I haven't looked probably in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't been out much. We've just been working on this place. So we had a huge rise in lumber prices, and we pre-bought all of this lumber. We really tried to save as much money as we could when we were buying all of the lumber. We went to Montana. That's the next state over from us, and Montana does not have sales tax. So in Idaho, when you purchase, I think almost anything except for groceries, you get taxed on it. I think it's like a 6% tax. In Montana, they don't have that. So we went over there and roughly saved almost $1,000 because we were spending a good chunk of change. I think at that time, at that point in time, we spent, I think it was $8,000 or $9,000 on lumber. So it was a lot of lumber. And I see all these popping up. We got Gabby from Scotland. What is up, guys? Let me log back in here so I can catch up on the on this. Oh yeah, right. Chevelle says it doesn't make sense that the COVID affected lumber prices. It really doesn't. And I don't know if it was 100% the COVID, at least from what we saw up here. Our area, this area has grown tremendously. Now, as a few of you guys know, Liz and I grew up in this area. We're not from out of town. We have both gone to high school here. She went to elementary school here. I did not. I moved here when I was about 12. So I've been here for 15, 16, 17 years, something like that, for a long time. In this, for probably the last 5 years, it's been growing, but for the last 2 years, it is blown up. So what I saw, at least, is the local lumber prices went up, and, you know, people were still buying it because everybody was moving here. This Idaho never shut down, you know, as a state. So a lot of people were still here throughout the summer. So it was hard to really like affiliate with, you know, how other people didn't see it. You're like, oh, hey, nothing's going on, and why is the lumber still going up? Well, it's because you had people going to other places and doing different things. That's just what I saw, at least. And what really sucks is now these companies know that they can get that much for it. They know that they can get $27 for a sheet of plywood. So as far as business goes, why would they lower it? People are going to pay it anyway, which sucks. It really sucks. I think the times of seeing an $8 sheet of plywood are probably long out the window, which is unfortunate because when we were initially planning this place, we never budgeted it in because we didn't have enough money at the time, and we still don't have enough money to, even if it was at the prices it was at. But we had planned to cover most of these walls, at least on the shop side. I was going to cover them in plywood. You know, it's wood. It's structural, it's glued together, we nail the crap out of it. That was the plan from the beginning. Well, here we are, and lumber, sheet of plywood is still $24, so it is what it is at this point. We don't want to drywall it. We're going to end up doing some drywall on the interior of the living quarters, obviously, but even yet, I don't want to drywall it. I want to have some real wall, whether it be metal or going to the lumber yard and scoring some scraps and staining them, doing something like that. We do have some lumber down at the bottom. We have plans to hopefully use for, a countertop. It's a cedar log. We actually have a video of it. You guys should check that video out if you are looking for something to do. That video, we fell that tree just right here at the corner, and I don't know how we got it out of the ditch, man. I pulled it out with my half-ton pickup that I have since sold. But we do have that. It is a big cedar tree, huge cedar tree. Down at the bottom, we have the Alaskan mill that we are hoping to set up and mill that thing on, at least get a couple nice slabs out of it. It's a beautiful chunk of wood. Use it as counter, bench, something. So we got that. I don't know where I was going. I feel like I was rambling for a little bit, guys. So I'll show you behind me here. Anybody just joining us, we're up in the loft. I apologize for the glare. That was a New Year's mishap. To be honest, I don't even know what happened on that New Year's mishap. There's a shatter right through the camera, right through the camera. It appears to be five or six little lines going right through it. I think I probably dropped it and it hit like a piece of gravel or something. If it would have hit anywhere else on the phone, it would have been fine. So I do need to get the front. This is the front-facing camera. Well, some of you are going to say, just flip your phone around and use the other camera. Yeah, well, that's all hunky-dory. The microphone doesn't work. It's the YouTube app, I believe. It's the YouTube thing that it doesn't cause the microphone to work, because I use the front-facing microphone for the videos. You know, I shoot the videos with this front-facing camera here, and it works fine. I was testing it before we did all this, but for some reason, when I'm streaming, it only picks up the sound that is on this side of the phone. And I think that's probably because a lot of people stream like this. We do have a microphone on order, one of these wireless microphone things, put it in your ear, you know, hey, I got your Sandy wash or whatever it is. So we're gonna have the microphone, or I think it's right here, it'll clip to right here. It won't be like one of those headpieces, that'd be kind of dorky. But we'll get that going on. Maybe you guys will be able to hear us a little better, and we can actually, I really have a vision for being able to do these live stream building things. So I think it could be cool, but we just need to really fine tune the details. It looks like we have, let me pop in. I got the iPad right here, guys, so I'm trying to keep up with you guys as much as I can. I think I'm doing decent. Metal prices, T-Wool, metal prices from March. So that, yeah, that's a little different here. We can still get metal, and actually from when we budgeted it to when we bought it, it actually hadn't changed. It went up like, I think 8 cents per foot, per lineal foot. So it's interesting. Yeah. Like just throughout and that could have been cause you know, factory shut down or whatever that was, but yeah, it's crazy, man. It's weird how it goes around. We got Gabby in the house from Scotland. Thank you for joining us, Gabby. What is up? This is just another afternoon here at Laid Back Living. We got all these sheets of plywood going on. I apologize for the camera glare. I think somebody might have mentioned earlier, it looks like a magical filter or something like that. So it is what it is. This will be the last one. I forgot, guys. I actually scheduled this live stream. I was setting it all up this morning, and probably... All right, it looks like we're back. Sorry about that, guys. It looks like Chevelle is out of here. Thank you for joining us, Chevelle. I appreciate it. Guys, Chevelle is one of our patrons on our Patreon page, so she is a good friend to us. We post over there. They get early access to the videos. So yeah, thank you, Chevelle, for joining us, and we appreciate it. Let's see what else we got going on here. Scotland, Gabby in the house. Quality of life. Don't look at, it's still going up. OSB is still going up, man. Jeez. It's crazy. What did I buy? Oh, I bought what is it? CDX for the beam. Yeah, I put a piece of CDX is like the layered wood, not the particle wood like all this stuff is. This is OSB, and yeah, so I put some of that in, and that's what I think I paid. It was like 24 bucks, and that's what we plan to use. Yeah, OSB. This is weird. So, guys, this is something new to me. Now, and I just now caught this, guys. We bought it's tongue and groove OSB. I think it's 3/4 inch. Let's get a tape on it. I'm actually curious about this. Give me 1 second. I will get a tape on it. I'll run back there to where you guys can even try to see it. Oh, let's see. So that's, yeah. So that's like a heavy 3/4. Heavy 3/4 OSB. I don't know what it really is. It's something 16s, 13/16. So that worked out good. Where was I going? Tongue and groove. Let me get this picked back up here. Okay, so I was under the assumption that the tongue and groove was going to be on 2 sides of this, so it'd be at the top and it'd be down a side. And that way, you know, this whole thing fits together and it's going to be secure at every joint, and it was going to be all hunky-dory. Well, it's only tongue and grooved on one side, and I didn't know that. I don't know if this is common. I feel like I had seen the sheets that had it on 2 sides. you know, it would go up the long side and across the top of the short side. So I don't know what that is. Maybe this is just common and maybe I was mistaken, which is very, very well a possibility. But yeah, so we're only getting them stuck together on that one tongue and groove side. It says, oh, we got Wayne in the house. What is up, Wayne? Chris L is in the house. Chris, thanks for joining us. We're actually putting a video up on all this. This is just a little extra. I actually had pretty big plans to try to do this, but as you can see, the picture on here is quite terrible. Honestly, I dropped my phone on New Year's, and the one place that it broke is right across the camera. Literally, if it would have hit anywhere else, it'd be fine. But it put probably 6 cracks right through that camera. So this is probably a decent picture considering the conditions it's in. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and put it on Instagram because it's quite bad. It could have hit it worse. Not much though. So what's up? Thanks for joining us, Chris. That's where I was getting at. I got the iPad here. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. I had big plans to do this. We got a lot of OSB up here. But the front-facing camera doesn't have the microphone support for some reason on the YouTube app, and nobody could hear me. We have a microphone on order. I know people are probably sick of hearing that. Let's see what else we got. We'll scroll through here. So we got Chris L. Wayne is in the house. Thank you for joining us, Wayne. Thank you very much. You just leave a pennyweight gap at the end of the sheets that do not have the tongue and groove. So, okay, yeah, so on the short side, I see what you're saying. Leave a little room for expansion or something. I was gonna cut them and nail them right to a joist. So you think I should do that, cut them and nail them right at a joist, but then still leave just a little bit? It's interesting. So let me grab this here. This is just the subfloor adhesive stuff. This is another probably barn find from Liz's parents, so thank you guys. They brought this over. They had damn near a full case of it, so thank you guys if you're watching. Let's see. So this says tongue and groove subfloor. Use a 3/8 continuous bead on joists. Use ample bead of adhesion on all groove channels. Blah, 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 blah. Panel joists should not be tight. Allow 1/8 inch gap for expansion. Position and nail screws within 30 minutes. Blah, 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 blah. I'm looking for the, there was a part that says don't nail it on every joist, which I thought was super weird. Yeah, it says something, blah, 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 blah. Nail planks at every other joist. Pre-drill nail holes. I don't want to do that, and I don't think I'm going to do that. I didn't do that. I already got nails in this guy. So that was interesting. It looked like there was some comments that popped up. Let's see what they said while I was rambling there. Yeah, nail them, but leave a gap. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I know, it's weird. I think it's odd that you wouldn't nail it on every joist. I really disagree with that. I don't know the reasoning, but I want this thing as strong as possible, and as like tight as possible. So I'm gonna nail the crap out of it. And I still got a whole box of nails. It took us, what, box and a half. We had half a box that was given to us, and we bought a box to build this whole building. And then I needed just a few extras to finish off the trusses. So we had to go, yeah, so I still got like 3/4 of a box rolling on there. So I am going to nail the crap out of this thing. And it's gonna tie the whole building together too. So this floor is sitting damn near at halfway height, up the walls, going all the way across. Obviously it doesn't have the strength this way as if I were to run joists all the way across, but it's gonna tie this building together so much. And it's not, not that we're worried about. There was some concern. We weren't really ever worried. But these are tall walls, man. This is 16-foot stick-built wall. So this is just a bunch of 2x6s stood up, going damn near 50 feet. So yeah, obviously that wall is going to have some wave to it in the middle. And once we put the trusses on it, tied it together a little more. But once we got these floor joists set and nailed, that is when the corner of this building here, we had a lot of heavy equipment drive over it in the wet months, guys. So when they put the septic in, it almost couldn't have been a worse time. It was raining the whole time that they were doing that. So he ran that dump truck over it twice, fully loaded, and then they ran their crane truck over it twice loaded, and each half is 4,000 pounds plus the truck weight. I don't know how much the gravel weight would have been, but there's a lot of weight running right over that when it was super soggy. So it was flat, and now it's like got a lean to it just from where they're driving, you know, like right up on the building. It's hunky-dory. But I want to get some fill there so it doesn't do that anymore. I want to extend out this way. I'd love to just push into the trees and plant the hillside and have it be a natural hill and not have to put boulders, you know, but we do need to get that vegetation on there pretty much year one, or else once the rain comes, it will just wash this dirt right away. This is very, odd soil, I guess, for Idaho. So like Idaho is the gem state, right? So pretty much anywhere you dig in Idaho, you're going to get a rock. Well, where we built our house, there is very little rocks. It's this fine silt stuff, and it's sick because it compacts super tight. You can really pack this stuff together, but there's nothing like holding it together. So like there's no shear strength to it really. You know, there's no big rocks like connecting layers throughout this stuff. And that's, you know, what we're gonna have to bring in is rocks to dump over this bank and to fill up this side. We're gonna have to address the driveway, guys. There is a video in the works on the driveway. Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't want to say any more about that because, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna have to address some of the land features around here. One of my thoughts, my latest thought actually, is because I don't want these concrete trucks driving up this driveway anymore. For some reason, I don't trust this road. I mean, they drove up here and they poured this whole pad. This is 50 yards of concrete that we got up here. We poured 50 yards of concrete. They came up and down that road 5 times. So obviously the road's gonna hold. I guess if we do it at the right time of year, it'll be fine. But I was thinking, let's just fill up the back of the wall with concrete. I think it would probably be about another 50 yards. The only concern I have with that, because I think it would work great, guys, if I filled that up with concrete and rebarred it as well, you know, got in there and made some custom, you know, rebar thing going on, because I wouldn't hardly form it. I would only form it where it would drool out from the sides of the building. So I would form it at the front here, and then the back corner, I would block off those 2 spots. We would have to hire a pump crew. And then literally they would just fill this thing up with concrete. It would be like making a giant rock that would be, 50 feet long by probably 4 feet wide. They're just gonna fill this thing up. And I think it would be great. I think it would hold. My only concern is the pressure that it would put against this wall while it was drying. My solution to that was maybe to do it in lifts. So, you know, we'd pour the first 2 feet, let it dry. A week later, we'd pour the next 2 feet. So now we got 4 feet, and so on and so forth. Well, I think that would be great. But then I have to hire the pump guys for like 4 or 5 different occasions, and just for them to fire their pump up right here outside our building, it cost me $400. So I don't want to do it in 4 or 5 different occasions, but I've yet to really put some thought into it. That might be the first time that we contact an engineer on any of this build. To to try to see if somehow we can say like, yes, your block wall that you built will hold all this concrete weight or something like that. So I saw some comments pop up. I'm gonna get back in here. Guys, I'm right here with you with the iPad. Let's get this rolling. So Bob says, cut and nail a joist, used the same OSB on my deck and didn't leave a gap, and it has worked great for the past 10 years. So Bob didn't gap it, and that's what we were talking about earlier, leaving a gap versus not leaving a gap. Another spot where that kind of comes into play is, from what I've researched and what I've seen, is it's not recommended to attach like a wall, or I think specifically to attach drywall to the center of a truss, because that truss is going to have a little bit of movement to it throughout a year, you know, every year more or less, as moisture, you know, comes in and leaves and all that. I don't want to do that. I want to build a wall right on top of this beam that you guys see that runs the whole way across. I want to build a wall on there and tie it right to my trusses as well, you know? So I want to put that up there and attach it to the whole building. And I don't see the problem with it. I think it would make the building stronger, but I've never really researched as far as putting a wall up to the trusses. I have seen that you're not supposed to attach the drywall to it. I don't know. We'll see. That might be one of those things. I guess not one of those things. There's a few things that we've rolled on out here that I think we got it. I think we're doing okay. Let's see what else we got in here. So Bob was talking about the gap. That's what we got there. Quebec, Canada, 68 Jag. 68 Jag 420G. Nice. I like. Thank you for joining us. We're at Quebec, Canada. Don't do the pressure will collapse your wall. Oh, he was talking about the concrete. Okay. Yeah, see, that's what I'm concerned about, man. I think it's a ton of weight. I think it's a shit ton of weight. It's a lot of weight. So we need to, like I said, I think the only way would be to almost do it in lifts. I don't know if there'd be a way to really securely tie the wall to the dirt, you know, run like some sort of anchor into the dirt, and then pour, you know, attach that anchor to the wall with a cable, let's say, and then pour around that. I thought of that possibly, but, you know, that's a lot of work. Then we're moving stuff in, we're moving the boulders in, and you know, even just now to try to reach down to the bottom with an excavator, you're going to need a pretty big excavator just to reach down to the bottom of there. So yeah, we're going to try to figure that out. Let's see what else. I'm trying to catch up, guys. Sorry. Let's see. Ronald saw another YouTube channel that was using floor laminate for the walls. Very nice effect, cheap and completely finished. No cost for painting. I agree, Ronald. It wouldn't be too terrible if we had like OSB on the floor panel. It depends on the floor panels, I suppose. But I think there might be a little wave in between the studs. To that fact, I know a guy. We've actually gotten a few pieces of old, you know, random pieces of flooring from him that are going to be installed on this build that you guys will see once all this stuff's up. He installs flooring for a living anyway, and he did the same thing at his house. He's got flooring. He made it look like a beam, and it looks good. It looks really good. So I'm not opposed to that at all. And I could be wrong about the wave, you know, as it goes along the studs. So we'll have to see. I think we might even have a few pieces of vinyl flooring of the strips in a box that he gave us. So I could put one up as a test piece and see if you can see any wave to it or something like that. Let's see. Craig Fisher's in the house. What's up, Craig? High layers will reduce the structure and integrity of your wall and reduce the value of your wallet. Layers will reduce... What kind of layers, Craig? I don't know what you're talking about. Layers will reduce the structural integrity of your wall and reduce the... I don't know. Layers. Oh, yeah. Layers of the concrete. Layers of the concrete. Yeah. So I would agree that it would kind of reduce the structural integrity, but it's going to be a giant boulder back there. I don't want the mountain to come down on the wall. I want the mountain to come down, you know, around the wall if it ever comes down. That's kind of what I'm scheming there. So I want to put like a huge boulder there or something. The other option is gravel and trying to let the dirt like sift into the gravel, if that makes sense. You know, and obviously with drain system throughout there. But even right now, you know, I don't know how many of you guys, what your weather is like wherever you guys are at, but we have had a super, super wet winter. Very, very wet. You probably can't even see behind me. There is hardly any snow on the ground. It's been raining for the past week, it seems like, pouring rain. The mountains have got hammered with snow. The mountains have so much snow right now, finally. But yeah, we have been getting rain down here. We're sitting kind of in the lower, the snow level is about 2,500 feet, and it just barely missed us. Where was I going with this? The behind the wall has not, there's been a very small sloughs, you know, chunks of dirt, not real big, that have just rolled off the side, but nothing big. Like I mentioned earlier, there is a part of the driveway that we are working on a video on because it was very, very, very muddy and very loose and rolly. So I was excited to see that behind the wall didn't have hardly any moisture still. If you kick your foot, right now there's no dust if you kick your foot, but it's definitely not like muddy per se. So that's good. The drain, I've yet to see water come out of the drain from behind the wall. The drain that sheds off of the roof here, now we have a ton of water that comes off of this roof, guys. These drains work great, thankfully. Thankfully, they work great. I did have to dig one up. This side was plugged a little while ago, but same thing. It was from the guy driving all of his equipment over it. It was so much weight that just mashed these drains in. But those work great. You have yet to see water come out of that side, which I'm happy for. I really want to keep that as dry as possible. I think that is going to be the key to success. So we'll see. Catch back up on some more of these comments here. Oh, no. Let's see. What are we doing? Quality to Life said the sheets aren't exactly 8 foot. They might be just a little short. So if you don't leave a gap, you might come a little short for a while. That, yeah, I feel you. To that point, this floor is not totally perfect. So I was going to have to probably cut almost every one anyway. I was really hoping to only have to cut one, and then the rest are going to line up, but I think slim chance. A few things didn't line up perfectly with this, when, like, as far as the fasteners went, so we had to fudge a few things over. So yeah, the measurement thing is kind of not totally out the window on the loft flooring, but it is what it is. It's not going to be bing bang boom like the professionals would have it, that's for sure. I wish it was. That'd be nice. It'd be done already. All right, let's see. Ronald asked, no, let's see. Robert asked how how big the cedar was. It was big. It was really big. Let's see. Quality of life. That's what Ronald. Hey, Mike. Nice to see you walk on the floor. I know. Thank you, dude. Yeah, it's super nice. Especially with this plywood back here, man. Like, now I can mostly comfortably walk on this. You can see I've staggered it because I still need to go through and nail all of the blocking from the top side. But it's nice. I agree. Thank you for the words of appreciation. And, you know, it's finally. It's sketchy walking on the just the floor joists. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't know if you guys have been around since the beginning, but I had to walk out just to glue this one over here, and I don't like it. Definitely not a fan. All right, let's see. Bob's out. Thanks for joining us, Bob. Peace out, brother. Bomber Steve. Hey, Laid Back Living just joined. Sending big hugs from Badgerio, Australia. Thanks, brother. Welcome. This is the loft of the shop house that my fiance and I are in the process of building. So we've built this whole building all DIY. I don't know how much you follow us, but yeah, this is on the loft here. We finally can walk on it, man. It was stressful trying to walk on top of these. I pretty much didn't do it. It was not super fun. Let's see. Craig Fisher, you got it. Could you do something with steel? You could shoot gunite across the dirt to keep it from erosion. Yeah. We could do something with steel. It kind of falls back to the same thing. We need an anchor. I don't want to put a big giant, it wouldn't be a gusset, it would be like an embutment, I guess. I don't want to put a big giant embutment on the inside of my wall here. Because then, you know, to make it like, honestly, in my opinion, to make it structurally sound, you're going to have to stick that thing off the wall a ways, you know, and run that thing way up the wall and this and that. Well, you know, that bay is, I think, a total of 16 feet. It is, because that's a 16-foot door, so that's 16 feet wide. So let's say we take 13. Well, that cuts it down to 13. That's damn near a car lane on the highway. And, you know, it's not, I'm not saying that's no room at all, but now you have this giant thing sticking out, and like it's definitely on my mind, but I don't know. I haven't convinced myself on what we're gonna do to address it, because I think it's gonna be one of those things that we want to address before the wall has cracks running through the whole thing and we're trying to push back against it or something, you know. So we do need to come up with something. We'll see. The iPad shut off. What do we got here? 8%. We've been rolling for a little bit. We got a few people that have still joined. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like button. I'm pretty sure it helps support me. I think it does something with the algorithms on YouTube. I've been researching it a lot lately. Yeah, so please. Boo. It should be rolling again. So that was probably about 10 seconds. 12 seconds. Let's see. So we'll get back up here. Craig Fisher, do something to it. Let's see. So 68 Jack said gravel is your best as long as you lose hamstake fabric drop. Stop the dirt. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's a good option. Still not sold on it, but I think it's a good option for sure. Especially like you said, if you use the fabric to try to keep some of the dirt back. I think you're right. And it's not near the weight, you know. Not near the weight. Not even close to the weight. All right, let's see. So you got to run. Lunch break's over. Take care. All right, hey man, peace, dude. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Craig, Mike, you have been working your hind end off from what I can see since your last video. Yes, we have. And there's one that's going to get dumped tomorrow morning. Video is going out tomorrow morning. It's actually already on YouTube. Most people just can't see it. There's been, I think, 2 people that have seen it. We released it earlier to our Patreon page. Just give those guys just a little earlier glimpse. We're trying to bank some videos up so we can try to keep like a consistent schedule. But it's hard. Like it's hard to like really get good footage. Like even right now, this has been an hour and 15 minutes, and I could have had this whole thing nailed shooting. It's tough now that we're finally getting a little equipment. You know, I kind of traded this cracked screen for a sweet camera stand, but at least the front camera still works. So we're finally trying to get something rolling with that. It's tough to make like a good quality video, especially by yourself. You're always moving the camera, trying to get different angles. We need to get 2 cameras going. I don't know where the hell I set my GoPro, but I cannot find my GoPro anywhere. Haven't been able to find it for the last 2.5 weeks. Hopefully I didn't set it on the top of my truck or something and have it roll off. I'm sure I'll find it somewhere. But yeah, we're trying to stay rolling, trying to pump out the content. Let's see what else we got in here. Ken, can you tell if it's warm up there? Yes. Yes, you can tell. Not specifically right now because I shut the furnace off. The toilet hose heater is what I've been calling that. The toilet hose heater is shut off right now, but when it's running, it is considerably warmer. Right now, it's not cold in here by any means, man. It is, or ma'am, I don't know if that's a, oh no, it's Ken. Yeah, man, definitely warmer up here. I would love to eventually, one day, someday, insulate the floor to segregate just the living quarters. So we'd insulate the floor of this and insulate these walls. So like it would be its own little unit, and man, it would be so easy to keep this thing warm up here, especially with the wood stove we got, guys. Oh man, once we get this floor all buttoned up, we're going to have to get the stovepipe. It's a little expensive, but it's one of those things that we're gonna need, so we might as well do it right now because we already have the wood stove. So we literally have a wood stove that is sitting in storage waiting to be put pretty much exactly where the camera is sitting right now. And it's going to be beautiful to heat this thing. We just have to get to that point. We're not quite there yet. Till we're there, we're going to keep running the toilet hose heater. Shut off right now, though. It actually ran out of propane. The tank ran out, which isn't uncommon. It burns one of those 5-gallon tanks, like a barbecue tank. It burns one of those like every 2 days. If you can make it last 2 days. If you can make it last a day too, but you can make it last 2 days for sure, and it keeps this place nice and warm. Oh, somehow Amazon opened up. Let's see, we'll get back in here. Thank you everybody for joining us. If you're just popping in, I appreciate it. I hope your Thursday is going well. We have quite a bit of OSB. I apologize for the glare. There is a terrible glare. Look, I can't even get rid of it. The screen is shattered. I need to, after this is done, I think the first thing I'm going to do is call and see what a screen replacement costs. Yeah, because I need to get that fixed. It's bad. I'm going to get glass in my ear. It's like right up where you would hold your phone on your ear. And I have like blood coming out of my ear. All right, we'll roll a little more. What about plants? Ronald said was about plants to stop the erosion. So Ronald, that is our plan for one of the locations, 100% our plan for one of the locations. What we need to do in the meantime is they make a thing called a wattle, not a duck wattle. It's a W-A-T-T-L-E, I think. And it's like a tube of, like a tube. It's 25 feet long, but it's bendy, and it's made out of like straw and hay and organic material. And what that does is kind of put steps. Cool, we're back. Handy van in the house. I see that just as we're rolling in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry about the screen. Sorry about the Starlink dropout. We try to get it back as soon as possible. So I was talking about the wattle. So you would stake these things coming down the hill with stakes. Literally drive a wooden stake right through these things. So like your hillside's like this. You're driving a stake directly perpendicular. So as your hillside's coming down, so your hillside's like this, you're going to have a wattle, you know, here, and you're going to have another one here, and you're going to have another one here. So what that does is you can see as, you know, as the hillside's angled, that puts a flat spot in that hillside. That puts, you know, a spot for dirt to kind of collect and consolidate. And that's going to help us out tremendously in a couple of spots. But where the dirt is sheer vertical, that's not going to do anything. As far as you were saying with plants, with the angle, that's also the same thing. We have big plans to try to plant like a very invasive type of plant, you know, not an invasive weed, noxious plant. But there's one of those, I was looking up the name of it the other day. It's that green fern that you see. It's a ground cover. It's got a good root system to it, and it just spreads almost everywhere, and it really likes the sun, and that spot is in 100% sun. So we're definitely going to be looking into that. We just need to water it. We did throw a bunch of seed on that hillside this last summer, but our problem was we were just in the very, very beginnings of trying to get this homestead established. We didn't have a good running water setup. We had the wells. We honestly didn't have enough hose or, you know, no spigots to get set up to run it all the way over to those seeds to water them. So those seeds just sat there. They probably got eaten by the birds and dried out, you know, so they're gone. So now that we're set up, we have a frost-free hydrant closer to where that's going to be. We're going to go out and we're going to buy garden hoses this year. Eventually, I'd love to run a soaker line down this thing and just have it set up to do its own thing. But that's definitely the plan for this next year. Now, I know I'm rambling, but let me move into the other part where the hill is vertical. Just a simple little idea is what we're thinking. So we're going to dig holes and plant small plants in there. So we'll dig a hole into the hillside where it's vertical. So now we have a hillside like this, and we're digging a hole into it. And then we're going to plant a plant in there. And it's the same thing. As long as we water it, I think it's going to establish, you know, let's say we do like a type of vine. I think a vine would look beautiful on this whole hillside. I think it would hold back the hillside quite a bit. So yeah, we're just still in the very, very beginning stages. So I appreciate it though. Appreciate the input. Let's get caught back up here. The amount of likes you receive moves the algorithm, so you place higher in the search categories, thus getting first dubs on viewers. Okay, so Craig's saying if a guy likes your video, you know, if you have more likes than this guy over here or this guy over here, it says the algorithms put you higher in that search term. So somebody searching Homestead might find us before they search, you know, somebody who doesn't have as many likes. We might be above somebody in that sense. So the likes do help. I appreciate you guys that have already liked this video. Yeah, from what I've researched, they do help for sure. Let's try to catch up. Looks sensational up there, says Bomber Steve. Lofts are such great use of space. Dude, I agree. It's such a cool way. You know, you have all this space, and then it's like, well, go up and split it all in half, and then you have all this space. You know what I mean? So this is going to be essentially an apartment. This is going to be about 18 feet wide. I think it's 17 feet and change, 17.8. And it's going to run the full length of 48 feet, but it's cut off, so it's really like 47.5 feet. 47 feet, we'll say. So I think that equates to maybe around 900 square feet. I don't know the math off the top of my head. When I was doing this, the square footage for this whole area was about 900 square feet. So it's going to be a fair-sized living space for sure. We're really excited about it. You know, right here where we're sitting, this is going to be kind of the living room. You guys aren't getting the greatest view at it because it is facing the other way. That big window back there is going to be the bedroom. And then we have this far window right here. That is going to be also in the bedroom. That's a big slider window. In case this place gets hot and we wanted to put like an air conditioner or something in there. So we wanted to put a nice big slider in the bedroom, also for fire safety purposes. As of right now, we have only designed this one set of staircase that actually isn't even built. Let's move to this little window right here. That little window is going to be right at the top of the stairs. Just one set of stairs, just one single set of stairs. So we wanted to have a slider out there. You know, worst case scenario, we can get one of those dinky little roll out of the window fire escape ladder things. Obviously not ideal. A fire pole would be better. Or a slide. Maybe we'll put a slide down into the shop, something. But yeah, we do need to figure that out. Let's see what else. Handyvan. Oh, you're talking about the, I don't know what Craig says, puncture weed. Puncture weed, any ground cover. I don't know. That's not the green ground cover. This one was like a fern, and the deer don't eat it. I remember my grandpa, he used to live at a place, his old house, dude, it was everywhere. It's kind of prickly. I can't remember what it's called. I found it on the internet. I just can't remember. But that's probably what we're gonna plant. It seemed to have like a pretty decent root system, and it seemed, as far as like the area where we're gonna be at, it is full blast sun in the summer. To water it, we gotta feed it. So hopefully it takes off, stabilizes that hillside a little bit. That'd be nice. We'll catch back up on a few more of these guys here. Bomber Steve is in the house. He's asking, how do we get up here, ladder or stairs? So as of right now, Steve, it's just a ladder. I just have a ladder off of this side over here. We do have plans for stairs. The stairs will enter about right there. There'll be like just a little landing before that. So that window is essentially at the top of the stairs on that landing. Stairs will come up over here in this area. We just haven't built or framed those in yet. My plan is to get this whole place in and then cut the stairs in, just because that's kind of a way where in my head, like, it's almost fail-proof. I didn't want to have to pre-cut anything and, you know, have something come up on the stairs where we needed to switch it up a little bit. So yeah, we'll just cut the stairs in after the fact, and I think it'll be fine. I do need to double up the joists at these stairs. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. But we got that. So yeah, see, there's a couple more that popped up. Let's catch back up to people right here. Bomber Steve. Puncture weed looks like a fern, but the seeds cripple your dogs. Oh yeah, so we don't want the dogs dying. Why didn't you frame the staircase from the start? Oh, I kind of just explained that, yeah. Because I was scared to. I didn't want to mess it up. And, I've never built a set of stairs in my life, ever. What we're going to, I'm going to build this set. And I just, you know, it's one of those things where in my head I have it kind of pictured. I really like to plan stuff out, or at least try to plan stuff out. And like I have it pictured in my head where it should work. Yeah, we'll be able to just plunge cut right through this plywood, and I think it'll be just hunky-dory, but we'll see. All right, what else do we got going in here? Bomber Steve asks if we have regulations, follow stairs and that void to your left. So this loft, Steve, I don't know how far into our videos you are, man, but you should go check out some of our previous videos. This is going to be the living quarters of this place. So this eventually is going to be finished. This whole side, this whole void that you're talking about all over here, that's going to be a wall. We don't have plans to put windows in there because you're just going to be looking into the shop. So what we've built is a shop house, a barn dominium, a carriage house, a shouse. The latest one that I've heard is it's an escarpment, an apartment shop. So this is the living quarters of that. So you'll walk in the front door, which is beneath us, come right up the stairs into the living quarters. And what that did is leave this bay to our left, that void that you're talking about over here that is all going to be covered up. That void is going to have a wall, which, you know, a couch is going to sit against that or something up here in the living quarters. We got plumbing both upstairs and downstairs. Downstairs was a little funky, but not an uncommon setup by any means. So yeah, this is like a style of house that I have seen for a long time. I think I remember even in high school seeing, you know, shop houses and like, man, that is a sweet setup because it's the best of both worlds, you know. There, you got a beautiful house and you got a shop that's connected. It's like, it's every man's dream damn near. So I remember seeing these. I specifically remember one, this guy, he used to help me with my snowmobile. He was a really, really, really good snowmobile mechanic. So I remember going to his house, and his was a little bit different. He had a loft that covered the whole thing, so he only had an 8-foot ceiling underneath him, or above him, I guess. But same thing, living quarters upstairs, shop underneath, and that was the very first time that like I realized like, oh man, that is super cool. I really like that idea. And then this other kid that I know, he built another one, and I've never seen the inside of it, but it's a shop house. And I remember hearing, he's like, yeah, dude, it's pretty affordable, it's pretty reasonable. Same thing, he built it by himself. And you know, once we saw this opportunity, he was like, oh yeah, let's build a shop house because it's the best of both worlds. In this one, we got very fortunate. This is a huge building. Total, I think it's almost 16.5-foot ceiling on that shop side. So we can fit lots of things in here. Our doors are limiting factor over there. It's a 14-foot door. Anything over 14 feet, not gonna fit, but I don't know what we have. We don't own anything that's even gonna come close to not fitting yet. But yeah, so we got this big area of shop space to load all our junk in and build our little workshop, because we're gonna need to keep producing content once this is done, and that's our plan, is to, you know, show you guys the handy side of everything, you know, the welding and building thing, because right now we're building a house and that's all we've been doing. There's so much more to it than just building the house. You know, there's the upkeep of everything and the maintenance on machines and, you know, nickel and dime stuff, and there's just so much stuff to it. But all we've been doing mostly is construction, which is fine. You know, this is the stage that we're in. But once we're kind of back on our feet and we have a place to live, and we finally, you know, can sit down and figure out what, you know, we're gonna do to make money and produce content. You know, we're gonna be welding on the dozer. You know, we got to make like a snow blade for the dozer. We got to get the dozer running to start with. There's so much work that needs to be done on every piece of equipment. The truck needs work. Liz's car needs work. Every snowmobile we own. If you own a snowmobile, you know they always need work. You can literally always do something to your snowmobile. Lawnmower needs work. Everything needs work. So we need to get caught up on all that stuff. I told Liz, once we're done with this, we have this shop space, everything that we have, we need to get caught up on it because it's getting too far behind, you know. So yeah, there's quite a bit of content in there, and we're excited to show you guys, you know, what goes on everything. So let's get back in here, see what's going on. Barndominium, love it. Bomber Steve has never heard of a barn dough. I had never heard of the term until, oh man, this is probably 9 months ago now. My buddy, real good buddy, I told him, I was like, yeah, we're gonna try to build a shop house. He's like, oh, a barn dough? I'm like, what's a barn dough? He's like, a barndominium. I'm like, oh wow, that's actually a pretty slick term. And come to find out, that is a term that a lot of people use. That's a real big keyword. So we've been using the term barn dough ever since, basically. Let's roll through. Looks like a big ski ramp to me, right? I know, it is gonna be. I'm trying to think of what the big ski ramp would be. That, almost. But, all right, guys. We are, let's see, Monterey popping in. And what is up, dude? Thank you for joining us. We're probably about wrapping it up, guys. Oh, yeah, the roof, right? It is a huge ski ramp. Thank you for joining us, guys. There is a video coming out in the morning, so please try to catch that if you're interested in it. Pretty cool video, and hopefully more to come. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.